So for question A, we have to write an integer that is 5 less than 7. If we were to use the number line, then we would look at 7, and we are looking for an integer that's 5 less than that. So that would be 5 less, we are at 2. So the integer is 2. The other way to write it down is that we want 5 less than 7, and that equals 2. Question B, we want an integer that's 3 more than minus 6. If we look at the number line again, then we are looking at minus 6, and we want to have 3 more. So 3 more, that's a minus 3. Another way to write it down is we want 3 more than minus 6, and that equals minus 3. Question C, we want 2 less than negative 3. So we are at negative 3, and we want 2 less than that. So minus 5 is the integer. The other way to write it down is that we want 2 less than minus 3, and that's minus 5. Question D, we want 2 more than a 0. So if here is 0, we want 2 more. So that's a 2. Or in other words, 2 more than a 0 equals 2. Question E, we want an integer that's 4 less than negative 6. So negative 6 and 4 less means we are at negative 10 now. So the answer is negative 10. The other way to write it down is minus 6, and we want 4 less than that, equals minus 10. And question F, we want 5 more than negative 2. So here's negative 2, and we want 5 more. So 5 more takes us to an integer 3. So that's a 3. Minus 2, and we want 5 more, and that equals 3. In the following questions, we will have to add integers. By now, you've probably used different methods, including tiles and number line. So choose whichever method is easier for you to understand. You could also think of money when you're adding integers. For example, here you could think you had $4, and then you added 2 more, so that equals 6. And then compare the answers. 4 and a negative 2 equals 2. Question C equals negative 2. D, negative 4 and negative 2 equals negative 6. E, the opposites always add to a 0. Question F, negative 9 and negative 8 equals negative 17. Question G, we have 3 integers that we have to add together. You can do it all in one step or step by step. Negative 7 and negative 3 equals negative 10, and we still have that plus 1 there. Negative 10 and a 1 equals negative 9. Question H, we have minus 4 and minus 7 is minus 11. Minus 11 and 9 is negative 2, and negative 2 and negative 6 equals negative 8. The other way you could have done this question is to think, well, minus 4 and minus 7 is negative 11, 9 and minus 6 is 3, and now I'm going to add minus 11 and a 3, and that equals negative 8. For the following questions, we have to subtract integers. Remember, when you subtract, you can add the opposite. So for question A, we are subtracting a positive 2. That is the same as saying that we are going to add negative 2. And 4 plus negative 2 is 2. Question B is 4 plus the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2, so that equals 6. In your lesson, you also probably discussed that negative and a positive makes a negative, so that's another way of thinking of these questions. So we have negative 4 Negative and a positive, -2, and that equals -6. Here we have -4. Negative and negative is a positive, and -4 plus 2 is -2. Here we have -5. Negative and a positive is a negative, and -5 is -10. Here we have -9 plus 8. Negative and a negative makes a positive, and that equals -1. Here we have -7, take away 3, take away 1. Plus and a minus makes a minus. Minus and a plus makes a minus. So now we have -7, take away 3, take away 1, and that equals -11. And question H, we have 7 minus 5 plus 6. Plus and a minus makes a minus. Minus and a minus makes a plus. Equals 7 take away 5 is 2. And 2 plus 6 equals 8. So in the following questions, we have to multiply integers. Remember, when you multiply two integers with the same sign, the result is positive integer. And when you multiply two integers with different signs, then the result is negative. So for question A, we have 4 times 5, and that equals positive 20. For question B, we have positive 3 times -2, so the result will be -6. For question C, -3 times -3, so the same signs, two integers with the same signs, that will equal positive 9. Question D, negative and a positive, so negative result, and 1 times 6 is 6. For question E, we have negative integer times positive, so the result will be negative, and 7 times 2 is 14. Question F, we have positive times a negative, result is negative. 3 times 4 is 12. For question G, this gets a little bit trickier because we have 3 integers now. So we can go step by step. What's -3 times -4? Two negative integers makes a positive integer, and 3 times 4 is 12. Now we have 12 times -2. Now we are multiplying a positive integer by a negative, so the result will be -24. For question H, we have negative and a negative. That will equal a positive. 1 times 8 is 8. And two positive integers, when you multiply, you get another positive, and 8 times 3 is 24. In the following question, we have to divide integers. For division, the rules are similar to multiplication. If you divide two integers with the same sign, so two positive integers or two negative integers, the result is positive. If you divide two integers with opposite signs, then the result is negative. So here we have positive 6 divided by -3, so we know the result will be negative, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Question B, we have negative number divided by negative, so we know the result will be positive, and 24 divided by 6 equals 4. Question C, we have a positive divided by positive, so the result is positive, and 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Question D, we are dividing negative number by a negative number, so result is positive, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. Question E, we have positive divided by negative, so this time the answer will be negative. 24 divided by 8 equals 3, so the answer is -3. For question F, we have negative divided by a positive, so the result is negative. 33 divided by 3 is 11, so answer is -11. For question G, negative divided by a positive equals negative, and 63 divided by 9 equals 7. For question H, negative divided by a negative equals a positive number, and 42 divided by 6 is 7.